New gravel bike loaded up to do the first official ride on it, and it's just been raining all day long today. I want to start off by saying that last night we all went out to celebrate Kevin's birthday and ate some pizza, and I kept trying to get somebody to come and ride with me today. These are like perfect conditions for the checkpoint. Nobody wants to ride a brand new bike in wet conditions, but this is one of the great things that this bike was, one of the big reasons I purchased this bike was to be able to ride it at any time. Misty basically accused me of being a fair weather cyclist, but to her defense, if you think about it, last winter, I rode a lot of the Trainer. So luckily, Sean is joining me for this Wet n Wild gravel ride. I'm going to put the GoPro on. It is raining here, so I'm gonna put my big camera up. If you did not catch my last video, here is my new gravel bike, the Trek Checkpoint SL7. I did weigh it with the pedals. It weighs exactly 20 pounds. And I didn't mention in that video, but it is SRAM AXS, so it is wireless shifting, and I've had Di2 on my road bike, so this is my first experience with the SRAM wireless stuff. And so far, I like taking the battery off to charge it versus plugging the bike in and having all these wires, but we'll see how well it actually works and shifts and functions. I'll be giving you a review of all that after this ride. So part of the weirdness with the SRAM AXS is that the right shifter shifts into a harder gear and the left one shifts it into an easier gear. I will never get used to that, and when switching to my road bike, I'll be completely messed up. Oh, first turn. Woo! I took that way too slow. I was super slow. I definitely feel more comfortable than when I rode Misty's Kona Jake, but I wonder if it's because I have wider tires now. The sun's coming out. I really find that I want to brake with just one finger, and that's not enough. I need to adjust my levers some more. Oh God. I've got the gears for it, I just wasn't ready for it. Yeah. I think that's a boot on the bench. Is it? No? No, it's a rock.
Oh, it's a rock.
It's like a rock person.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy. Alright, so as you guys just saw, I got a flat front tire. We put a new tube in it and we blew that tube out. I think maybe it got stuck in the bead while we were trying to fiddle around with the cartridge, the CO2 cartridge. Sean has gone off to try to find somebody or ride the road back to come pick me up. So I'm just hanging out. I'm underneath a bridge right now, guys. You hear cars coming across. The rain and the wind had really picked up, so I'm just gonna hang out under here until he gets back. It's been about 30 minutes that I've been under here. It's cold. It's not great sitting under a bridge in a wet kit with it being windy, but this is what I get for not bringing two tubes. All right. It is now the next day, day 2 of this video. As you can see, the sun is out, so it's obviously a much better day today. And I have an extra tube with me today. I'm catching on that my luck has ran out with my recent string of flats, so I'm gonna have to be double prepared now, apparently. Just carrying one tube doesn't cut it. So I want to continue the ride today to give you guys a better overview of this first ride, since yesterday was a bit of a disaster. I've got some friends that are fair weather cyclists, since a lot more of them showed up today than yesterday. fast. Nope. Definitely the biggest technique that I've learned so far about gravel riding is not having a death grip. Obviously that's true with most bike riding, but if you can be a little bit loose in your hands, it will soak up bumps and they won't rattle up into your brain, keep you from getting a headache. Why are the hoods so much bigger? Like they're massive. I like to grab them. Grab them by the horns. This route has some short, steep climbs, and the Eagle's been great for that. PR by 34 seconds. Woo. I want to finish off this video with giving you guys my opinion of the Trek Checkpoint SL7. My neighbor's dogs are barking in the background, so I do apologize that they're ruining my sick video edit here. The Trek Checkpoint is an awesome gravel bike. The SL7 is Trek's top-of-the-line gravel bike. And the first thing that I noticed is that the bike rode really well, and it was actually really comfortable. I've not used SRAM on the road at all, so I was having to adjust to the shifters with it being a one-by. The right moved the gears in the back into a harder gear and the left moved it into an easier gear. I'm not used to that. I'm used to the two buttons that Shimano has. So it took me about half a ride to adapt to that. And I'm not sure if when I get back on my road bike, if my brain's just gonna explode and I'm gonna be completely confused and shift into the little gear in the front on my 2x on my Shimano on my road bike. Or if I'll just readjust and realize, hey, this is a different bike and maybe that'll trigger something and I won't have any shifting issues at all. Speaking of the SRAM Access group set, I've heard people say that it's not quite as accurate as Shimano. I never experienced an issue when I clicked that button and there was a delay or not a shift at all. It was super crisp and it was everything that I expected from SRAM. And I've only got these 2 rides on it, but I was extremely happy with the group set. Now, the only prior gravel experience I have is that every winter I've done gravel rides on full suspension mountain bikes. And last year I did a couple rides on Misty's Kona cyclocross bike. Now, Misty's cyclocross bike weighed in at about 25 pounds. The SL7 weighs 20 pounds, and I really felt the difference between the 2 bikes. Hers was full aluminum, this one's full carbon, this one has wider wheels, wider tires. Not only is it comfortable, it's speedy as well. Like, I felt really fast on the bike. I attacked a 5-minute climb on the gravel ride, and I actually PR'd it by over 30 seconds. I've had to adapt riding this bike a little bit on gravel versus a mountain bike. The biggest thing is learning how to grip and using your arms for the suspension on those roads, especially some of the rougher descents. And so once I started to realize how to do that, it made riding a lot more comfortable. And this bike with the 40C tires, I think that is definitely, I don't think I will ever go any lower than 40C. I think I'm pretty happy with those, unless I get into some really easy gravel. I wish that this had the front ISOSpeed, but it doesn't. This bike itself, it's a great equipped gravel bike. I couldn't really ask for anything additional about the bike itself. It did really great, and I'm really happy with my purchase. A couple of small complaints that I do have is that these wheels are tubeless ready, but for some reason Trek didn't ship the rim strips or the valves to make it tubeless ready. If you were to buy this wheel set, the Aeolus Pro 3V on its own, the strip and the valves are included. Instead, they shipped it with tubes, so I can't just set it up tubeless out of the box. I'm gonna have to purchase those items to do that. So I'm a little bit annoyed by that. On a road bike, I'm used to braking with just one finger, but on the gravel bike, I felt like I needed 2. I needed the more stopping power, but maybe part of it is still getting my hoods and everything and the levers in the proper position. So I'm gonna work on that and see. Towards the end of the ride, I was having a pretty easy time. At first, I was braking too much because I was using 2 fingers and I wasn't used to that. It's just all things of learning how to ride a new bike on a new surface. My overall opinion to gravel riding, though, is that if you pick it up in just the off season, it's still a great thing to do. Right now, it's such a great mental break for me to get away from all the training that I'm doing on my road bike and all the training I've been doing on my mountain bike and get to go and just experience new places. You have to focus a bit more. It seems like it requires a little bit more attention. You want to pick better lines, because if you get in deep gravel, you bog down, you could hit big rocks, there's holes sometimes. All right, that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed my quick little review of these quick rides I've done on the new Checkpoint SL7. You're going to see a lot more videos on it. I really like this bike. I can't explain how comfortable and stable the bike just felt overall. I mean, it's still a little sketchy because it's gravel, but it's way less sketchy than I expected. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you on the next one.